how to get a business loan for struggling to stay up afloat, keep your bottom line up versus growth and expansion. You're possibly in that scale phase and you need the funds for extra inventory, marketing, advertising, equipment, new material, other pieces of equipment, and so forth, up to 10 million, even without collateral, no hard credit checks, and bad credit is acceptable, even low documentation. I'm going to be getting into all of that and quite a bit more in this live. But before I get started, my name is Michael with Viral Funding Solutions. And if this is the first time you're watching, I do come out with content on this channel on all business funding, building business credit, fixing, improving it, credit repair, taking advantage of different opportunities as they come, and so much more. So if you haven't subscribed, I'd greatly appreciate it if you do. And don't forget to click that bell notification icon so you do not miss any future videos I will be coming out with. Now, if you're watching me right now in the live, please give me a hashtag live. Give me a hello. Where are you tuning in from? Blair, welcome in. How are you doing? Happy Monday. And let me know what part of the world you're watching. Are you on your way home from work? Do you work from home? Maybe you took a late lunch. It's 3 o'clock here, 3:09 Pacific Standard Time. Just happened to change from 8 to 9. But it's been an amazing Monday so far. Are you getting after it as a business owner? That is my question to you. From Florida? Nice. Awesome. I've been out there. It's cool. I would like to go visit Miami. We're planning that with cousins and family. But Orlando, it's an amazing area. It'd be cool to go everywhere else. Own an ad agency in Tampa. Awesome. How's that been going for you this year? Seeing a lot of ups and downs or primarily coming up? Yeah, I remember getting into ad agency work. I did that for quite some time for marketing companies and quite a bit more. I picked up a lot of local businesses, so I know how all that works. With the digital marketing ad agency, and as well as like the SEO, because that's where I began with SEO, and then I evolved into understanding how to run Facebook ads, Google ads, and all this. So, and then social. So I get a bit of what you're doing. Nice. Business is good. Do job boards. How cool. Yeah, keep that going. That's the way to go. But that's what I wanted to say just now. And what I wanted to dive right into, I won't take up too much of your guys' time. I know some of the past content has gone into the 30 minutes and above, even closer to an hour. So I'm going to limit this to about 10 to 15 minutes if I can. And I want to get right to the point now. So when you're looking for business funding, there are generally two things you look at. Am I using this funding for surviving? Am I in a displacement right now? Am I just disorganized? Did I just take on too much debt? I have credit cards I haven't paid. I have late payments, or I've been paying them on time, but I'm looking for another form of financing to meet payroll, to meet the demands of my business operational expenses, and so forth, right? That list, I can go on forever about different expenses, and I can stay here for about 5 to 20 minutes speaking about it, but that's not what I want to get into. And what I want to say is, if you're just struggling and you need to meet payroll, and payroll is one of the biggest concerns for a lender from my point of view as well. If you come into an application and you say, hey, I need to meet payroll, or I need to just hire some employees, I keep losing them, and I need more, and I need it for this, and I'll demonstrate some use of this for this immediate growth and expansion, but hiring 2 to 3 employees may not pay off for me until about 3 or 4, 5+ months from now. It's not always immediate. Sometimes it is. Maybe it's somebody you already had and they're coming back. You just have to show them the operations and the procedures and your systems, keep them up to date. But for a lot of business owners who are just looking for funding out there to meet the demands of payroll, getting a lump sum may not be as most attractive because you're just trying to stay up afloat. You're already struggling with your cash flow. And if that's the problem, giving you funding that you are not able to repay back, which you demonstrate, and it shows with your revenue, we're not able to give you enough or any of it at all. And so this is the determining factor when we look at, hey, do you qualify for a lump sum or do you not? And if you didn't, what are the other products available? You may have a line of credit. No worries. Take care. You are welcome. Appreciate you. Thank you very much. I do. I don't just say that like a lot of people will. I do mean it sincerely. And I know you're busy. And come back to this when you have time and watch the rest of this because it's going to get into even a lot more. Welcome in, Ubaka. How are you doing? Evangelist, welcome in. Blessings to yourself too. Thank you very much. Warm welcoming over here from Washington. I won't say precisely where. I was watching. I don't want to get too off topic, but there was a YouTube video that came up on my feed the other day. Apologize if it gets dark. The laptop for some reason. Uh, but I was watching some lottery winners from like 3 to 4 years ago that just randomly popped up on my newsfeed. I had nothing like correlated to what I've been watching. And like the people in media were asking them questions like, "Hey, where do you live? What do you plan to do?" And they had their attorney next to them. Don't say that. Don't say that. So I'm a little reluctant to say, "Hey, what exact city?" And I've said it in the past, so a lot of you guys know, but it's nothing that much. But just making a point there. So if you're using it for survival, taking a lump sum when you're already suffering with cash flow, you're trying to bridge cash. You need immediate funds so that can help you get through the month, through the week, through the season. But what is this funding going to ultimately do? It's still going to set you back. It's like you're just using an influx amount of money to then just reset you back to where you were. Or maybe it would increase a little bit, but what you need to fix is the underlying diagnosis. And this is your actual methods of operation. Okay. Your SOPs, you also need to fix that. You need to fix your financial structure because you keep losing something instead of gaining it. So if giving you funding just to survive would be enough, don't you think a lot of business owners would get that? Sure, there's the EIDL, and here's where I want to jump into this. So the EIDL, primarily for COVID relief, you have PPP and quite a few things. Now, the primary use of funds, it is for hard impacted businesses through COVID. Secondary, sure, you can demonstrate a use for growth and expansion. If you start recovering, you get to a spot where you realize, oh, I can actually use this money to get this piece of equipment. I actually have 25,000 to invest in that. Okay, so I'm going to invest 25,000 and I'm going to get 10,000 away from this so I can save some of this. And you start thinking a little bit more strategically. However, with the COVID EIDL loan, you don't even use it all at once. You're just letting it sit there over years. You're thinking about it like as a home mortgage of 30 years. Don't think about EIDL and home mortgages the same way you think about going through a private and even a non-private lender over here. A lot of people have the assumption, I've said this before, and if you need to hear it over and over, I will deliver it until you get it. And it's not in an aggressive way. It's for me because I know it takes about 7 to 11 times for somebody to hear the same thing over and over. And I know it can be redundant if you get it, especially. We all need the reminder. So I need money to survive. So I'm comparing it to the EIDL loan. I'm comparing it to home mortgages, but you're missing the clear picture over here. If we gave you 30,000 and all you were given is 6 months to repay that back, I only needed it for payroll, for some business operational expenses, some maintenance that won't even produce to me an ROI, really, realistically. And even if it were, it would be something in about a year to two from now because I'm trying to recover. I'm trying to pay off debt, refinance, consolidate. But your cash flow is not allowing you enough. So maybe we give you only as much as you can chew and be able to repay back because we know you're in survival mode. And if you take that, maybe you're not so much hurting right now, but in about a month when you hit that season and it doesn't pick up the way you intended it would, guess what? Now you're paying back $300 a day. You're going negative in your account. You're withdrawing more operational expenses come up than you would have assumed. And then now you're out there trying to shop again, maybe looking for the lowest price. Nobody's going to give you a loan. You can't even pay that off. Or everybody refused to give you money because all you needed it was for this. Your cash flow wasn't good. You were already negative. You had non-sufficient funds, overdrafts, chargebacks. This is all the stuff that I see, especially in the bank statements. If I need tax returns, I'll ask for them for specific services and/or. So understand that if you want survival money, it's going to cost. It's usually going to be a medium to higher rate. People go, I don't want these merchant cash advances. I just want a line of credit. I don't even want a hybrid cash advance, even if it's an unsecured term loan. Well, do you qualify for it? Do you qualify for a line of credit? And I'm going to jump into that section right now, and I'm going to get into the growth and expansion phase next. Do you qualify for a line of credit is the ultimate question we're about to answer. Lines of credit, they are where you can use these funds as you choose, similar to a lump sum. The difference is, as opposed to getting a lot for working capital at once and having this expected repayability in 6 to 7 months, instead, let's say you get approved for 30,000. Now, before I get too far ahead of myself, Lines of credit over here have less of an approval rate than do the lump sums over here. And the percentage that you get in all of this, when we think about how much you can get approved for, if we're talking about a lump sum first, you usually get, it depends on the bracket. If you're doing 5,000 and above and not 15,000 and over, maybe up to 75% of your monthly average income or your lowest monthly. That's what we usually base it off, especially if there's a big difference. And if you're 15,000 and above, perhaps we can approve you up to 75 to about 200% or 75 to 150%. And so a lump sum gets you approved more than a line of credit. A line of credit, it may be 40 to 60%, especially if you go with these online banks. If you go through your own bank, it may be less. Okay. And it may be in the range of the same. But with these other private lending solutions, you're given somewhere between 50 to 100%. In some cases, 50 to 60, 50 to 70%. All right. And there have been some cases where it's been like 100 to about 150 or 100 to 200, but that's not always the case, especially in today's market. So you're looking at 50 to about 100% in some of these cases that you could get approved for a line of credit, if not 40 to 60%. So what does that say? Well, if I got 30,000 with a lump sum, I might not even get half of, I might just get 15,000 in a line of credit. Is that going to be useful? Well, when can I ask for an increase? It may be a year's time. You have to show that you can make the repayments. So I needed actually 30,000. I didn't need the 15. It's cool that I have 15,000, but I actually need 30,000. So I'll take 30,000. Well, but, wait. I got approved for the line of credit too. Oh, I'll take 30,000 because I actually needed 45,000 total. Whoa, 30,000, 15,000, 45,000, 7 months paid, done. No, but I wanted a year. I wanted 2 years. Well, what are you use of funds for? Is it to finance a bigger project or projects? Is it for bigger piece of equipment, machinery, for bigger supplies, material, inventory, for another building you're acquiring or you're moving into, you already have, you're putting underneath the LLC, et cetera. We can get into all that at a different time. And there are business acquisition, et cetera. No, well, it doesn't make sense for you to get an unsecured term loan or even secure it with collateral if that's the case. Why? But I know it's not about the interest. It's about the repayment. So one, it's getting as long as a term as you can if you get it. If you don't get it initially, what do? You build the relationship. It's not hard. It's not like it's an obvious answer, but a lot of us don't see it. What you should be doing is building the relationship up with your lender or lenders and stick to one to two at most. And then dive deep. But don't be like, I got here. Oh my God, I needed an extra 20,000 for business operation. I only got 30,000. I need 50,000. Oh no, I only got 15,000. I'm short 20,000 now. I got to close my building. No, survival money is one thing, but growth and expansion is another component. So if you're surviving, a line of credit could work. But with lines of credit, keep this in mind. It is credit based. So some may ask for 550 in FICO, others are 600, usually 600, if not like 650 and above with FICO. And the revenue has to look good. Like it can't be a minimum of 10,000 and you have a 600 FICO credit scores. Like that's not going to approve you. That's why a lot of these trucking companies get disapproved for it. A lot of the restaurants, a lot of the higher risk industries will not get a line of credit because it doesn't demonstrate that they can even repay what they have already. They're going into debt too much. They're falling back way too much. They only have one truck operational. Like what happens if that truck goes out? You won't be able to pay us. So who are we fooling? We have to look at ourselves in the mirror and ask ourselves, am I spending the time enough with this guy? My name is Michael, by the way. And I'm learning. Or am I just, please, hand me this, hand me that, hand me this. But you don't participate in, not in a like, you have to send me a message or comment. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, are you putting your due diligence? Are you just showing up and then evaporating? Because that's what a lot of people do. They become Homer. You know the Homer Simpson guy who, have you guys seen the meme where he like goes like this? And now he's in the bushes. It's one thing to be observational because I'm an introvert. I observe a lot. And so when I observe human behavior, which wasn't my first thing when I got into college, I was into the sciences, but I learned this in business over time. I understand your human behavior. I understand the psychology of getting funding from the very beginning to the end. Nothing really fools me. I know where people go, then they drift, and I know the reasons why. And the ultimate thing I need to understand is what is your feedback? If I never get feedback, I can't do my job. I can't help you. but you waited a month. Why did you not send a text message in a week, in 2 weeks when you had it? I have people right now who are still looking for the idol, who are like in an island of their own, like just wandering, like wandering zombies out there. I'm not even joking you. Like they've been dropped off with by a helicopter and just told to roam around while there's these other options available, but they don't want to take it because they're looking at it from a medium to higher rate. Well, do you have collateral? Then we can try to look at something less than 15%. No collateral? Well, usually it's 19 to about 70, if not more, up to 100%. However, are you strategically using these funds? So that comes back to the line of credit. COVID relief, you're trying to surface. You don't need it for an ROI. Your ROI isn't going to be immediate, or you don't have a short-term return on your investment of using this and it's going to produce 2 to 3 to 4 times. You're going to quadruple your money. You're repaying back 27,000 on a lump sum, and you're paying, and you were doing 20,000, you're paying back 27,000, and then in the upcoming month, sooner or later, you're then making 40,000. So you just doubled your money, paying back 27,000. So the repayment isn't bad. But for somebody who says I'm paying 27,000 back and I'm staying at 20,000, but I'm still trying to stay up afloat, paying back the 7,000 over the 6-7 months, how are you ever going to justify that? And even if it's a year to 2 years or 2 years or more, why should we give you that comfort? So the number one keyword in today's market, in today's economy, because I'm also an economist aside of all this, I keep track of everything. In the sense of like I keep up with the current economy. I did study economic classes in college. However, the number one keyword is comfortability, or being comfortable, is what everybody wants. They want cushion. They want to feel like, oh, will I get an extra 3 months? Will I get an extra 4? Well, you may get it, but there are early payment discounts, no prepayment penalties, pay it off. A lot of people don't want to end up in debt for 2 years. Who are we kidding? At a medium to high rate. Wouldn't you rather pay it off in 7 months? Boom, done. Because I knew what I was getting myself into. Not, I think I'll need 7 months. No, I don't think I'll need it. I know I'll need it. You think I sit down and I go, I'm going to go receive funding today. If I get approved for 100,000, which I could if I wanted, if I got approved for 100,000, what? I just want to keep the money? No. I'm using that money strategically. I'm going to use that money to pump some ads. My marketing, it works. Boom. So I'm 50,000 of that. Boom. I'm borrowing money. I'm not getting rich because I received $1 billion. Understand what you're chewing. So I'm using 50,000 to my marketing campaigns that have been proven to work, and I have a lot of them that do. So if I pumped up another 50,000 to scale this, that would probably produce to me an extra 50,000 in my business on that side of the equation. But some of you guys are out here, well, I don't want these cash advances. You don't know. Like, you don't know, you don't know. And I'm here. It's okay. I'm going to be here to take that off your shoulders. I'm going to be here to wrap my hand around yours and say, hey, it's okay. Whatever happened in the past happened. Whoever misled you and took you down the wrong path, shame on them. They overpromised, underdelivered. They weren't trained properly. Financial advisors, people out there, you just don't talk to them all the time directly. You have to deal with somebody like myself who knows the processes, who's there every single day. Everything I did before this, guys, I was working my ASS off. Like today's Monday and it's a catch-up day. Now I have time to be here and show up. Otherwise, I would have done it around 12:45. So let me go to the comment section, and then I'm going to get into a little bit more of the growth and expansion and speak about more on that subject, and then we'll close up the video. It'll get dark really quickly here, so give me a second. I had to take the lighting off the HP laptop. I know I've said this before, but I'm trying to get back to it. Hi, Buka. Yeah, I'll look through your form. I haven't had the time to. I know you've been constant, and I appreciate you for doing that, and I'm not avoiding. I have projects, like I said, and so sometimes I can't meet them, and I'm going to have to change some appointments from time and time again. You guys will see that, and I'll limit it. I have to move some things from Friday because I've been recently opening up for times in the later day that I usually can't meet right now. So I'm going to be cutting that short a bit, just some on certain days. You are very welcome. Appreciate you too for, putting your thoughts and taking the time to comment. It does matter. It does mean a lot to me, and it shows that you do care. It's not about me Maybe yes, I'm sure you do, but on a personal level. But secondly, that you're getting the better understanding out of all of this. Why can't a Nigeria? Are you in Nigeria? I said it before. I'm not sure if you read that part, but I know I sent it in the message, and I have to go back there and look. Again, I've been a little bit in what I have to be doing, and so it's not that if you're in the U.S., you have a U.S. based business. That's different. Puerto Rico, Canada, it applies to everywhere. So if you're in the U.S., your U.S. based business, you have your EIN. We can, you're registered through the IRS, and you have Social Security number. Therefore, then we can go through the process and look through a little bit more. But your funding details have to make sense. Like I know you submitted a few applications or started them at least, Ibuka. I think you have a few businesses. I just have to get around to it. But you had different answers for multiple things. You said 50,000, and then another one you said 5 to 10 or so forth, 50,000 and above. I want to make sure that's correct information because I have to follow up with people. And those of you who have started an application, be honest. Don't come back and resubmit it. I see it every day. I see all this in my system every single day. Oh, they're doing 5,000 to 15,000, or 3,000 to 5,000, and then they came back and they put 5,000 to 15,000, and then 50,000, and then a different amount. And then, they had a business checking account, and then now they have they have personal and then business. Oh, they inputted it wrong. Oh, okay. So that's okay. And I followed up with people on that today. But be honest, not to get my attention. Be honest. And if you're playing that game, I don't want none of it. Nothing more has to be said. I'm very punctual about my energy and time. And if you don't respect that, then I can't respect your time and energy. That's just how it is. It's not me being negative. I'm sure you would say the same. I usually think it. I don't say it, but now you're hearing me. Okay, can you be a little bit more specific as to, yes, the reason why I changed them is because I want the one I can get. What do you mean by the one I can get? Evangelist, what about me? Your question. Oh, did you ask one, or are you? Feel free to ask if you have a question. I may have not gone around to. Like I said, there's a bit of people. You guys have to understand too that I care about you guys, like really do. Now, I'm not saying that just to say it. A lot of these people who I reach out to, I get to know them on a personal level. Others, and this is the problem that I see. Like right now, I'm trying to reach a few people who are very cooperative, and I know them. Some of them I know more personally now. Others are just like, I don't know, they're clueless or just, I don't know. They like this thing again, they evaporate. They come in, they become very unresponsive, no feedback. I'm not able to understand what they're trying to do. We got so far into the process and then they just like drop off. And I go, well, there's no feedback. Like what made them think differently, or are they busy? What's happening? And then some people, I don't receive funding. And then I reach out to them. It's okay. This is what we can help you with. And this is what I would recommend. And I still follow up in a very personal manner. But a lot of them are like, I don't want none of it. I didn't receive funding. I don't care. It's only in it for me. And I get that part. If you don't want to have the relationship with me, that's fine. If you only want to have it on a business level, okay. But later on, when you need the help, who's going to benefit the most? Those who have the personal and the business relationships, not only with myself, but everybody else. And you guys are like a family to me, but a lot of people will not look at it that way. And each to their own. And some people disappear. I had quite a few people the other day who they didn't get approved for because they happened to lie on themselves, who they were kidding themselves. And so when they were found out, or I just followed up with them, said, hey, you didn't qualify for these reasons. I can't give you all of it, but here's where you want to refer to. And if this, and then they become very unresponsive because maybe you're not used to working with consumers. You're not used to working with customers. Maybe you're not friendly with your own family. I don't look at you as a number. I'm not an insurance company. I'm not a mortgage company who just come into the bank, get a home mortgage, and then blah, 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 or get out more an equity on this and da 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 da. Bye. If that's what you want, there's those places where you can go to and they're going to take advantage of you. I know that because I've been there. I've been that person who's been taken advantage of. But it's better to build a relationship than not. Now, growth and expansion, and we'll get going. When you're growing and you're expanding, you're thinking to yourself, I need more inventory and I'm going to need this for a piece of equipment and for some marketing. What are you thinking to yourself? Well, more specifically, what would be my return on the investment? My CRO, conversion rate optimization, not necessarily my revenue from my conversion rates, but what is the data giving me that I can go then input it and then iterate on what's already working? And so a lot of business owners, they want funding, but they don't know what they'll use it for. Don't go and apply just to see what you're going to get. Get the funding, especially in a lump sum. When you're repaying it back in 7 months, you're paying $200 a day or so. Sometimes it's less, maybe, okay, more or less. However, the lenders are taking 100% of the risk. You're not offering them collateral. What do you think? They're going to give you 5%? Who are we fooling? That's not happening. They need to ensure they're getting their money back. And then secondly, you have to understand, what's my ROI? Like I just said, is it going to happen immediately in a week? Boom, burst. 3 months? No. 6 months? No. 12 months? Maybe more. But I only got a 7-month term. Well, this was going to happen in 12 months. Well, don't bite off more than you can chew. Can you take what you can get for the meantime, use it, get a spurt, come back, receive more funding when you pay off 50% of it? Yeah, I can. There's your answer. No more has to be said. And then we can look at refinancing and then dropping your rates, increasing your terms, increasing the amount you get, giving you a surplus. But because you built the relationship up with someone and you're honest, they see that. You're repaying on time. You're repaying it off early. Dang. Okay, we're going to give you more. Well, you needed the extra 20,000, but you didn't get approved for a line of credit, but only a lump sum. Well, we're going to give you the extra amount you need. We got you. We're taking care of you. There's times where you do need the full amount in one, and then I get that. But a lot of people, they don't need it all in one take. So understand that you're using this money for the growth and expansion. What is my immediate and or long-term return on my investment? And you can think about it backwards when you get these unsecured term loans and even longer ones. I have more of a longer return on my investment, and then I go backwards. Then I have a shorter term. So use it for those purposes, and you will find out enough like what you need to do. And I'm not saying you need to be the bookkeeper, but go through your accountant, look through them, sit with them a couple of times a month, 2 to 3 times a month, at least nowadays, if not more. No, I do it a little bit more. But the thing is, you have to understand where you're at in your market. How can you position yourself? Can I receive this type of funding? No, but I wanted 2% interest with 100. No, I'm sorry. That's not going to work. And I get you don't know that, and it's no problem of your own. But if we've talked about it like 10 times and you're still at that spot, I can't. Like, it's not for my interest to be taking the time on that. And the reason is because you're just going to keep fighting and bickering and complaining about the lowest price. And I'm not saying this to be negative. Again, as I said before, it's giving you tough love. Yeah. So I'm going to leave it at that. Don't just sit on idle loan funding and sit on government grants. If you can, go into a different section, because it'll be too late for you at that point. And what a lot of companies are doing right now is they're holding back on their capital reserves. The banks right now are doing that. The lenders, who they primarily get their money from the banks, and there are secondary and third uses. I won't start getting into all that. They're not getting as much. So they're reserving what they can give to a company, what they can give to a trucking company. We may have given you 100,000, and at what point now we have to give you only 50,000 or even 30,000. So I see that every single day, and I'm not just saying that. I get applicants day in and day out who go through the offer stages, and this ends up happening. I'm not going to get into the can convince you. We're not going to go into that subject. I'd rather say, what can I do that's in the best interest for you? Because I know that can be used in the wrong context and wrong connotation. However, we're going to get into things, and I'm going to take a break after this. I may get at this later in the evening or get back to tomorrow. But I know there are appointments sometimes I can't make them. You'll be known for, or I'll let you know. And sometimes I don't, because I get so caught up. And then sometimes some things do happen. Sometimes I'm usually on time, but sometimes, again, that'll take place. Yes, I will. Applied for them. Who specifically? Oh, is it? True, honest answer. What do you think of my live? Just stay away from the part where I look funny. Are you speaking to one specific company? If so, who? Or lender? Because I deal with direct and indirect. I have my schedule out here. You know how much I've crossed off today? I like having a written calendar. I have online too, but this makes me get it out on paper much faster. So all my inbound, outbound, hybrid stuff done. Had to reach out to the right people today, and I have quite a few more. Calendar, 9 a.m. cross content I didn't get to today on my blog really. The video content I did about 2 to 4 videos that I wanted to get done with, some appointment stuff. But I have quite a few of information on there. But yeah, I've received funding before. It isn't an easy thing. It's like I'm going to release a video hopefully this week on a company that I'll answer that in a second. I have created a video for the purpose of the week to be distributed, hopefully, where there's a last step with bank verification. A lot of people, they don't want that because they think it's fraudulent. And I'm going to show you guys what you're missing out on and why you guys get to that final stage and don't want to give account information. That's very safe and secure. So I'll be talking a little bit about that. Hopefully this week I release it. If not, maybe next week. I'm not just going to release it right now in this live. I don't want to put it out there for everybody in the comment section for other purposes. I don't want that number just to be laying out there the way it is like that. There are other ways that you may find it, but for the purpose of this video, I don't want to be doing that. I think I can do, let me see this. I'm going to move up here. There they are. Let me see. All right, there we go. Evangelist. I like your name too. Pretty cool name. And so right here, I don't want to put my, contact info for the abuse of some people. And then I don't want to be going through all that right now and then putting it out there the way it is. It's not productive. It has to be productive to me. An energy time well spent altogether. That's why you see sometimes an app appointment you can set up and you guys can get more help that way. And usually it ends up being a direct messenger. It can be at times a phone call if necessary, if it means that much, or if it's absolutely necessary to be. But a lot of people will set up an appointment with me and it's just, I can't be on a call every single second. Like today, I had a 9:30 appointment that didn't show. I was there at 9:25. I had it open until 9:30. I gave it about 3 to 5 minutes. I was out, done. Why? Because I have things to do. I'm punctual. Doesn't show me you are. You probably forgot. Probably something came up. Okay. It's okay. You didn't let me know. It's fine. However, I have things to move on. I have projects to work on. I have people that actually are serious about this. People that are punctual. People that take the time to see the reminder email, the confirmation email, and where to go from there. But some people don't. They want to be spoon-fed. They feel very entitled. They feel like they deserve a phone call every single second. They need 20 to 30 minutes when in fact all they needed is 10 minutes of my time. If 15 minutes did, okay, we'll go there. But I'm not saying it directly to you, LaFanda. I'm saying it I don't want you to think, hey, I'm bashing everybody. No, I'm saying this to everybody. This is just the truth. And disagree with me if you do. I'm sure a lot of you agree. You don't want your energy and time zapped. You don't want to be on phone calls that just didn't. What is this? This is didn't go anywhere. You ask yourself when you're done with it, those 5 to 10 minutes should have been used this way more effectively. See, that's where it becomes very counterproductive and counterintuitive. So I'm going to leave it at that in this video. I didn't get into the specifics. There is a questionnaire form for you guys down below in the description. If you guys choose to get help with business funding, I'll leave a questionnaire. You can simply fill it out in less than 30 seconds, and I will get a hold of you. There are plenty of those that I have to get caught up on, plenty. I did about 30 to 40 this weekend, Friday and Saturday included, not Sunday. I'm trying to do some today. I didn't fit it in, but I will try to get at least 10, hopefully, if not in the evening. But I have so many submissions. I will get back to you, and I take care of each and every one of you. You guys are not a number to me, honestly. You guys can probably see me walking down the street. Maybe we're on vacation and you happen to recognize me. I would take some time away to talk to you. And I wouldn't even bring up the subject of business. I'd just say, hey, how are you doing? How are things going? And then I'd forget about it. But then I'd come back to it and go, hey, how's your business going? So little things like that. Messenger. not WhatsApp. I'm not going to start switching 3, 4 different apps. I'm going to stick on one. I've used WhatsApp in the past, and I still use it from time to time when it's necessary, depending on countries, etc. But if we're already on one channel, let's not complicate things and switch over to too many. So I'm going to leave it at that in this video. Look down below for that questionnaire for all other funding services and all help that you need. A lot of people right now going through the offers, getting them, and then others who are being having a revision. So in part of the application sequence, you'll see in some of these where you're going to be asked, do you want a lump sum or working capital and or a line of credit? I would apply to both. Reason being is you can be evaluated for the two. You may just apply for a line of credit and they may not evaluate you for the lump sum, but you don't qualify for a line of credit. And so I have to ask you for your permission. Can we evaluate you for the working capital? And so at that point, then we'll look at it. But what I would do with these applications, not all of them will ask you for it, but apply to the two if possible so we can evaluate you for them if that's the case. Don't just apply for a line of credit and be stuck on the line of credit. It may be the one thing that you need, and that's better than the lump sum for your situation, for relief and so forth. Not so much an increase in ROI, or if it is an increase in ROI, it's not enough funding like the lump sum. But apply to the two because we can evaluate you for two. We can get you the two, or we may get you one or the other or none. But at least you were evaluated for more than one option, and we'll present it to you. That's how it works, and that's what I recommend. I have people like today, you need to have business credit established, accounts at least that you're building, quite a few, 2 to 3 or so. Have minimal credit utilization ratio, your debt to income ratio, inquiries, nothing outstanding, like liens, bankruptcies, foreclosures, all of the stuff that you just need to get fixed, and you're applying for a line of credit. The standards are higher, not even at a 600 minimum. We're talking 650 and above, better revenue, time in business, a year plus, 2+ years, and quite a bit more. So that'll conclude everything from me in this video. And anytime you guys have questions, please voice them for me in the comments, or you guys can refer to the questionnaire. That's the fastest way to get a hold of me. And if you found value out of this video, I would appreciate you, like some people in here, giving it a thumbs up and already. And then if you haven't, please share it, like I said, with others who you feel will get value out of it. It can be a complete stranger, a friend, or a family member, but at the end of the day that they found value in an education, not just getting the business funding, because that's what a lot of people want. So I would greatly appreciate that. I know Blair, who is no longer watching, or maybe you came back here. I know you're busy, as am I. All of us are. But when you have the chance to, come back and watch the replay if you do need help, and subscribe if you haven't. Click that bell notification icon so you do not miss any future videos I will be coming out with. That is everything for now. Take care.